Welcome to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's Lenard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Books Authors Weeks, October of 2025. I had Health Weeks in February of 2025. I had a Music Weeks, 3 of those in the month of March 2025. So here we are, October. I have a lot of fellow authors I have the chance to have discussions with. So Books Authors Weeks, October 25. Without further ado, let's head into a discussion with a fellow author. Welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. Welcome to Books/Authors Week. Author joining me today is Kat Sterling. Welcome to the show, Kat. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great.
And that's Kat for those listening or the transcript, audio only rather than video. You don't see her name in the corner. It's K-A-T, right? Yes. Not C-A-T. So K-A-T. S3EOctSpecial16, Kat
Yes.
Sterling. Okay, before we get into the book stuff, let's do the nitty-gritty of like, where were you born? Where were you raised? Where are you now? Any notable places you've been in between? You know, that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, my screen froze. So can you ask that one time? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. The nitty-gritty of your life, right? Where were you born, raised? Where are you now? Interesting places you've been in between, that sort of thing.
Oh, so do you want me to start off and tell the whole story?
Well, I don't want to, we're not going to talk for 3 hours. So the abridged version, please. Yes.
The stage version. How about that? I'll give you the stage version. So I grew up in a small town. I always, saw myself as larger than life. I wanted to do big things, amazing things, great things. I didn't want to stay in that small town. So I wanted to be a physician when I grew up. Let's just fast forward. That didn't work out for me very well. And I guess that wasn't my path. I feel like people have their own path and their own journey they have to take in life. And sometimes it works out in your favor and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to pivot. And so I ended up going into healthcare operations, did really well in that. Well, in 2022, after being in healthcare operations for 16 years, I lost my job of 11 years.
Oh boy.
I lost my job. And so that kind of devastated me. And the funny thing is, this book that I had been writing, literally, this book that I had been writing for at least 5 years, couldn't ever get it done because I didn't have enough time, too busy, work stuff always got in the way.
Hey, actually, write one Christian show, one door closes. It may not be a door, it might be a window.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was a window. And I finally sat down. Listen, 2 weeks after I left that job, I got this. I wrote this. I finished this book. Literally 2 weeks after I left that job, I finished the book after 5 years, literally 5 years. And so that was kind of like the catalyst that kind of sparked everything. My husband and I ended up starting a business. I started coaching and speaking based off the book. So we've done a lot of things in between there. And like you said, one door sometimes closes, but that's not the end of your story. Sometimes it closes for a reason and God wants to move you to another area.
It's not the end of your story unless if you give up, you have no hope, you dwell on the negative rather than focusing on, it may hurt for a while, but potentially something better can be around the corner if I work at it. Don't just sit on the couch eating chips and drinking, feeling sorry for myself.
Right? Exactly. And that's what people they go through these transitions in life, because I was 40 at the time when all this happened. I just had a baby. I had a 1-year-old son, and so I was 40, and so that was a life transition for me, right? Because I'd been in this field forever, and then now you tell me at 40 years old, with all of these bills I have to pay, I got a house payment, I got kids, I got this, I got that, I got to transition. Like, I got to learn new stuff. I got to step out on faith. What? I got to step out on faith? Yeah. It's hard. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But as I look through those transitions in my life, I'm like, God has always sustained me, and there has always been a purpose in every single transition that has happened. Every single one of them,
Yeah.
even from going to medical school, right?
Yeah, this show wouldn't exist. My now into double digits worth of books wouldn't exist had I
Right.
not got unhealthy, had health problems, and gone on disability, right?
Wow.
I wasn't happy at all, still not losing a 6-figure salary,
Yeah.
right? And trying
Yep.
to get by on a disability budget. But yes, it opened that window of opportunity to
Yep.
write like I had been all my life, but never was internationally published. And now
Wow.
I am. And again, and this show, of course, now I can do.
Yes.
I would otherwise not be able to. So you've held the book up a few times, which is great for the behind the scenes video crew, 5 video outlets, but does nothing for the 25 plus audio only platforms or those who may read a transcription. It is why they are winning and you are not, the steps to finding success in life. And I think we've already heard the motivation for the book, so I don't gotta need. Let me back up again though, because you did never say where you were born and where you are now.
Okay. I was born in Shelby, North Carolina, small town right outside of Charlotte. And then I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. That's my home. Yeah.
Hotlanta, right?
Atlanta.
Yeah, right. I know others that are down there too. In fact, a friend or a former colleague in information tech, who had lost his job. His wife was also in IT. And rather than him worry about looking for another job other than, odd jobs, they decided, well, we'll just use the wife's salary, sell the home in Michigan. They moved down to Georgia, where the cost of living a lot less, and she could work from home. So, being mobile, then they could very well survive on just her salary living in Georgia outside of Atlanta. And indeed, his odd jobs here and there and whatever then was bonus money.
Yes. That's smart, because a lot of people aren't willing to be flexible, and they're not willing to pivot when things like that happens. Like, if you got to get rid of, hey, look, guys, I've had
hubris, the sin of hubris.
Yes, I've had to get rid of stuff and house and a car and all of that. I've had to get rid of it all and downsize.
All the stuff I had when I was I had a 6-figure salary in IT. Too. I was married at the time. The wife had a 50 grand a year salary. We had become accustomed to a pretty luxurious lifestyle.
Right?
And then when that salary stops,
the stuff goes away.
The expensive cars had to go. The luxury eating, like at the steakhouses, had to go. I'm on a McDonald's dollar menu budget these days.
No vacations, none of that.
I haven't been out of the state of Michigan since 2006.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's like that, but most people aren't willing to give that up. And sometimes you have to be willing to give it up to get something longer term or something more meaningful in life. Because if I had just went back to work and got another job, I never would have finished this book. I never would have finished it. I never would have finished it. I never would have started my business. Like, I never would have did any of that. And so sometimes you just have to let go, because what I've found in this process, and it's so funny how God works because he will change your whole perspective on life through one single incident. And so what I found is that I don't need stuff to make me happy anymore. Before it was like I had to buy, I had to have, I had to impress, and I
Yes.
had to show people how successful and great I was.
Consumerism and keeping up with the Joneses. Yes.
When I was
Yeah.
honestly, to be honest, I was really in a lot of debt. I was very unhappy, very self-conscious, low self-esteem, you name it, everything. But, I wanted to have this outside appearance of success and confidence and all of this. And so when all of that went away, I was stripped and I was just left with me. And so I had to learn to be me and love me and understand me on a level that I have never understood myself. But it was the
Yeah.
best experience.
Yeah, I didn't read at the top the background information. Kat Sterling is an entrepreneur, writer, coach, motivational speaker, and the co-founder, COO of Nuspira Inc., a startup health and wellness. This happens a lot. I hit record
Yes.
and the mouth don't want to cooperate again.
I get it. I'm
Right?
the same way. I'm the same way. Totally.
So Nuspira Inc.
Yes.
is the company, and you do what with it?
So we have 4 staple products. We have 2 mushroom coffees. I know that's the big trend right now.
Oh,
We have
Neil
amazing.
Patrick Harris advertises one on
Yes.
TV. I'm constantly seeing ads, and I can
Yes.
see health benefits in it, but
It's
on
amazing.
my budget, I can't afford that. I'm on so many other pills and supplements. That's one that would probably benefit me, but I
It would
can't
probably.
fit it in. Can't
Oh,
fit it
no.
in.
Oh, don't say that, but it's amazing. The benefits are amazing. I'd say we have a superior brand to most of them that are out there. People just don't know about it yet. But
In
we have
your face, Neil Patrick Harris, right?
just because they got better advertising. But yeah, we have 2 mushroom coffees, and then we have a liquid vitamin, which is chocked full of everything you need. Most people don't know that pills are very hard on your liver, they're hard on your kidneys, they're hard on your stomach. And so I tried to limit that when I was going through my jobless situation. I was going through a lot of health issues. And so I was taking a lot of supplements to try to just get myself back to normal. And they either didn't work, or 90% of that stuff I was eliminating, or I just couldn't get them down anymore. It was just too much for me. So that's why we came up with a liquid vitamin that people can take. And then our last product is a detox.
I'm not promising I'm buying it, but it is definitely something I'm looking into, as you said, to replace pills, because
Yes.
indeed, yes, hard on the stomach, hard on the liver, hard on the kidneys.
Yep.
A liquid absorbs better, gets into
Yep.
the bloodstream faster.
Yep. Yep. That's what most people don't understand. I'm like, we're taking all these supplements and they're probably killing you faster than they're making you better. All these supplements. But however, I would stress to people that you probably need to take something, because most of the people are not getting what they need through their normal food. The way the food is processed is low dense. You're not getting the nutrients that you probably were 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of necessary that we're taking supplements just to counteract some of the things that we put in our bodies.
And
even
especially,
really healthy.
Yeah, especially as you get older and older and older, the body
Especially women. Especially when we lose a lot of bone density, we lose a lot of collagen. Once we hit 30, things just started kind of going downhill.
No matter how healthy you feel, you still need the supplements to stave off the potential downfall later, right? Absolutely. I was just recording with another author for Books Authors Weeks, Evan Turk, and he's an attorney. His like yours is nonfiction. It's easier to talk to a fiction author in a way. But we address from legal standpoint things. It's easier if you are at least a modicum of prepared in advance, rather than waiting for it to all go to hell.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, all fall apart. then
Yep.
it's exponentially more
Absolutely.
harmful on you, more costly on your budget.
Absolutely.
Yeah, preparing ahead.
Most people don't, because they don't feel bad, so they wait. And then once they wait, like you said, it's too late because your body's already kind of falling apart. You're losing your hair, your skin's getting wrinkled, like you're just starting to fall apart altogether. And it's like, okay, your body's been going through this transition for years. You just didn't know it.
You just ignored it.
Ignored
Yes.
it.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
hope, like I said to Evan too, I've said on the show many times, hope is great. Hope is wonderful. We need more hope, but
Yes.
hope is not a strategy.
Yes. Yes, it's not. It's not. It is not. Prepare, people. You're going to age. Prepare.
Yeah. And not just thinking about it, doing things about it, like the supplements before you're 60 and falling apart.
Absolutely.
Starting your supplements at least at age 30, you've got to.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned hair. For behind the scenes, you can see I've got no hair. That's because of leukemia in 2010.
No.
And when it all came out, I decided, well, I'll save a ton on shampoo and conditioner and just shave it. Keep it shaved, right? Yeah.
The chemo did that, or did the
the chemo.
You just never grew back with chemo?
Well, some of it would, but not all of it. So I just keep it shaved. Yeah.
That's a big side effect of chemo, unfortunately, because it's poison. You're poisoning your body. And so it kills the hair follicles for a lot of people, and it never grows back for some people.
Yeah, you're injecting poison to hopefully kill the cancer cells before they kill too many good cells and you die. Like one of the things after the regular chemo and the leukemia specific drug, several weeks they had me taking low-level IV input of arsenic, right? Arsenic will kill you. They give you low doses to help kill bad stuff, hopefully not so much that it kills the patient.
Wow. I didn't realize they did that. Wow. That's harsh. It probably made you sick, right? Like really sick?
Yeah. I mean, I know what it feels like to be dying. I mean, and the cure is as bad as the disease, but you hope there's a coming out of the tunnel on the other side. And for years, I've been on disability since 2004 with a myriad of health issues. And over the years, changing supplements, thankfully, I feel a little better than I used to, but I'm still nowhere close to normal, even with all the pills and the supplements.
Wow.
My health got a lot. Well, I not better, but I was less sick with colds and flu and all that. On a regular basis when I upped my D, upped my C, upped my zinc, my magnesium or potassium levels. And so there was a period of time every year in January or February because of my health during the winter here in Michigan and it being cold, I would land up in the hospital feeling like the leukemia was back again. And they'd run a bazillion batteries of tests and say, pump me with potassium, magnesium, and electrolytes and send me back home.
And charge you a fortune for it.
Yes. And I finally figured out, why am I not taking this at least on a semi-regular basis to avoid that?
Wow. That's I'm so sorry to hear about your health crisis. That's horrible. That is why I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
Well, like I said, I want to check out your liquid. So let's talk about that some more. Help me and help others. What items are in your liquid supplement?
Oh my goodness, everything, all the B complex, magnesium, manganese, zinc, potassium, vitamin A, B, C, D, K. I mean, you name it, we have it. Glucosamine, everything, everything.
You
So
know,
it's everything plus vitamins, nutrients, and minerals. So it helps you eliminate a lot of the, like you said, the pills that you're taking on a daily basis. So it's like it's one shot, 1 ounce a day, 30-day supply. That's it. That's all you need. And it's bioavailable within 30 seconds, which means, like you said earlier, it's going to be absorbed within 30 seconds. So it absorbs quicker, faster. And what people don't understand also about pills is a lot of the things that are in the fillers in those
fillers,
pills, they're fillers, and you're going to
bad
eliminate.
side effects. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes. So people forget about that, and a lot of stuff that you think is in there and you're not getting because your body's just eliminated because it can't process it. So
Yeah, and that's
yes,
the other thing that is the body absorbs and uses sometimes certain vitamins and
yes,
minerals
it
and
does. It
just
eliminates the rest of the stuff.
right and
Mhm.
other things it can retain for a while, like vitamin C. People think, oh, I should buy a 5,000 milligram supplement, chew on that. But
Yes,
no, the body generally pees out most of it.
it'll pee out what it doesn't need.
That's why I have ascorbic acid
Mm,
instead. And
yes.
all day long, I drink water with a little bit of ascorbic acid.
Oh, I
So I'm
got it.
constantly getting a vitamin C
Yes,
boost all the
yes.
way through. It's like,
Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
right? Earlier
Yep.
today, I took a B12. And what
Yes.
have I been doing all day? Peeing most of it out.
Out. Yeah. 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 You're gonna pee most of it out. People don't think you are, but you are. You're gonna pee. And that's why you're like when you like this is gonna sound weird, but like people that take a lot of vitamins, their urine is really yellow. And sometimes it has a medicine-y smell because you're eliminating a lot of that.
Especially because of the B. Yeah.
Yes.
So yours, uh, at least an ounce a day. It's probably
Yes.
better if you split that up into three things: a morning, an afternoon, and an evening.
You
If
just take
you,
one shot.
uh,
Just take it and forget about it. That's it. Just take it in the morning. I take mine in the morning and forget about it because it does have the B12. So I don't want to take it throughout the day because I don't want to be up at night because B12 is going to give you energy. And so I would rather just take it in the morning so I'll have that energy and I can go on throughout my day. I'm good. You're good for the rest of the day.
that makes sense. And
Yep.
it's, yeah, like you said, your liquid. Uh, I'm hesitant to ask you the price because inflation always exists and prices always change,
It
right?
does. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Our
but
site, it's on our site. It's $50. And it's not bad. I mean, if you're buying, like I said, I was paying $200 a month on supplements, just different supplements, like 8 different supplements. And they're like what, 30, some of them $30, $40 a piece. And so I was paying literally $200 a month. So $50 to get all of these things in here, that's crazy. Just one shot a day, it's gonna last you for 30 days. That's not bad. That's like what, $2 a shot? That's not bad. Less than $2 a shot. Yeah, that's not terrible.
yeah, that's how you got to break it down, right? That's how less than a cup of coffee a day, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
Less than a
the
dollar a cup. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
always advertisements do that to hide the actual cost. Less than a cup of coffee a day. Well, a
Let
cup
me
of
tell you about
coffee
that.
a day can get expensive.
Yes. And you know why we do that? We do that too, because people will say, oh, that's too expensive, but then they'll go spend $8 a day at
That's
Starbucks. And you're like, and you're paying for a bunch of sugar, you're paying for subpar coffee. I don't want Starbucks to come sue me.
in
But
your opinion, yeah, right.
in my opinion, you're paying for
Which
subpar.
I agree.
But people pay it because they want the ambiance of drinking Starbucks, or they want the, aura of drinking Starbucks because it's cool. It's a cult thing. And so, but I'm like, you'll spend that, but you won't pay for something that's a little bit more healthier for you. And that's my counteraction to people that say things are expensive. I'm like, well, you'll spend this. It's all in what's important to you, right? It's all
Priorities, yes.
priorities. If
Is
your
your
health is
health,
priority,
you're
yep,
drinking the bad stuff
Yes,
Paying for the good stuff, which will keep you healthier,
absolutely.
indeed, should be your bigger priority. Yes.
Absolutely.
So, time is flying by here now,
I
and
know.
I've talked way too much about me, but in a way, my bad situation helps sell your book and your product because don't become like me, people. Don't wait till it's too late.
No, but you're still here, so it's not too late. You're still living. You've made it. You're cancer-free, right? Are you cancer-free?
Yeah, in remission so far since 2010. So yeah.
Yay, that's awesome. That is so awesome. So yes, we're thankful for that. So good.
So,
Yes.
but back to the book. Let's talk a little more about the book since you're here for Books Authors Weeks.
Okay.
Why they are winning and you are not, the steps to finding success without too many spoilers. Explain beyond the title what all they're getting out of the book.
So I have to tell a little bit of story here. So the reason why I wrote this book is because my husband and I my husband's always been an entrepreneur. I've kind of dabbled in and out. And we've always been on the outskirts. So what I mean by that is we would do a venture and we would be right at the cusp of, something major happening. And all of a sudden it's just like, oh, or we would do something and wonder why it failed. This happened to us many, many times, and I talk about this in the book. And finally I had to sit down and do. A lot of people want to blame outside forces. They want to blame whoever.
The victimhood mentality.
It's the victim mentality,
and that's the sin of hubris again. It can't be me. It's somebody else holding me down.
Exactly. And so finally I had to sit and do a self-evaluation on us, like what we weren't doing, because we had a lot of people in our aura that were successful, in our atmosphere that were successful. We hung out with very successful people, and it was like, why can't we get there? Oh my gosh. And so I had to sit down and figure out what they were doing and what we weren't doing to get there. And that's why the book is why they are winning and you're not, because we were looking at our other, it's kind of like my story. It's like we were looking at our friends trying to figure it out. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of simple principles that we weren't applying to our own life. It's very simple, but most people won't do the simple stuff. They won't do the simple stuff, which is what's going to take you from here to here. But most people, I don't care if they're on a job, if they're an entrepreneur, they are not going to do the simple things that's going to take them to the next level. And that's where we were. And I had to be real about myself and get honest about things. Yeah.
Human nature.
Yes.
It's why I like I said with Evan, it's why Jesus said the poor will always be among you. That's not an economic or a governance statement. It's part of human nature to be lazy or do the least possible.
The least. It's a mindset thing. Your mind is like a fight or flight. If it gets too hard or too difficult or it feels too daunting or overwhelming, you're like, no, I can't do that. I'm protecting myself. I'm going to shut down. I'm going to go into protection mode, and I'm not going to do that because it's too difficult.
And again, back to hope. And hope, it'll magically all take care of itself. God will handle. There's 8 billion people on the planet. God does not have all day, every day to meddle in the affairs of 8 billion people. He may intervene at times. Do you really want to be the one requiring him to have to intervene? How about you do things for yourself and not be a burden to God and need the help and begging for help and praying for help? I'm not saying don't pray, obviously, but but you know what I mean, right? What are we doing for us? It's not in the Bible. God helps those who help themselves. But that line was created because it is kind of sort of implied in the context. If you're willing to help, God will multiply, right? That word's there. will multiply, not
Yeah.
give out of whole cloth, not provide everything from nothing, but multiply your efforts.
Well, God says it in the Bible, faith without works is dead. You know, faith, you have to have faith, and you have to put faith based in action. You can't sit there and say, oh, I wish, and expect it just to fall in your lap. It's not. You have to put action behind your works. Even in the parable where Jesus was talking about the three men, where the owner, the servant, he gave his servants money, and one of them buried it, one of them went out, two of them went out and made more money out of it, and he called the lazy one the one that just buried the money because they were just hoarding it and they didn't do anything with it. I gave you some money and you did nothing with it. And so God does talk about it in the Bible. You have to act on things in order to make them happen. He's not just gonna just magically appear. You have to put works behind it. And people in the Bible, if you look at people in the Bible, a lot of their stories, the magnificent stories, they didn't happen overnight. Like David didn't become king overnight. There was a process. He had to do things, and there was a process.
They just want to get to the end glory stuff.
Right? That's the sad part. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here and bash people because I was like that, but I had to change my mindset to get out of that thinking. Like, I can't be a victim. I can't always depend on everybody else to come rescue me because they're not. People have their own lives, and I can't get mad when somebody doesn't want to help me. I have to help myself, and so I have to do these things on my own. And so that's where people miss the mark, and most people will not go the level that they need to go in order to get what they want. They'll wish and dream, oh my gosh, I wish I had this, and I wish I had that car or that house, and they won't do the work that it's going to take for them to get out of debt or get out of poverty or get a new job or even excel in their current job, whatever it is, or their current profession. People won't do that. And so that's the reality. And what I'm trying to do with this book is get people to see that. Like, change your mind, change your mindset, make sure you're trying to see what you want, visualize what you want, ask God for what you want, but also know that you have to put action behind those things that you want in order to get there, and stay consistent with it.
To reap, you must sow.
You got to sow.
Shall be known by your fruits, not just your talk, but what you do. And Matthew 23, fake Christians just want the kumbaya love Jesus and want to ignore the faith without works, tough love parts of the Bible, and pretend that.
They want to take segments of it, use it to their advantage. And I'm like, no.
One of the main reasons why I created the show. Faith without works. You have to sow to reap. Shall be known by fruit. Tough love parts of the Bible many want to just overlook and ignore and think Jesus is a master password to get into heaven, right? That you just show up and like your computer, you forgot your password. Well, Jesus is the master secret password to get in through the back door. And it isn't that way. It says heaven has a gate, which means there is security. Are you in the book of life or not? Did you do things to get in the book of life, not just show up? Jesus said, I just had to say Jesus, and here I am.
Right. That's one thing I'm trying to do more is I am trying to, like this year, I've been very intentional about seeking and praying and waiting and also reading, right? So, studying the Bible, because there's a lot of scriptures people quote, and like you said, it's out of context every single time. It's like,
but I'm human. I'm frail. I'm flawed. I know I'm older now. My memory isn't. Unless if you've got a photographic memory, no one has the whole Bible memorized.
Right.
So.
Right. But at least you can quote recall things when there's something that comes up in your life that you need. And that's the whole purpose of the Bible.
If as we both said, you're using it in proper context.
Correct.
And not trying to distort it. Again, Oh, saved in the blood. Jesus is a magic password.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
other parts of the Bible give context to that. It's part of
And you
the
know unless you read
puzzle.
it. Yeah,
Right.
you know unless you read it. And even it, I used to be a Sunday Christian, go to church on Sunday, and that was my word for the week. That was my word for the week. Whatever the scripture was, I was like, okay, that was my word for the week. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
done. Now, like I said, I am being more intentional in, praying and seeking and really trying to understand what what God intended in his word in every step, and not just
Yeah.
taking context in one passage to my advantage. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
very about.
Yeah. And Dennis Quaid, I'm jealous in a way, right? Got to be careful of jealousy. It's right. I don't covet anybody's stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right. But lowercase j, jealous in a way that he came up
Yeah.
with a term, because I created Christitutionalist and other words. But he came up with the word churchianity. Like you had said, you were a churchianist. You went to the building with the steeple, but were you really walking the walk out of the church? And that's a problem. Matthew 23. And most churches won't talk about the whole Bible. Again, it's the prosperity doctrine or the feel-good doctrine. All that tough love stuff. Jesus overturning the tables and go forth and sin no more. No, forgiveness, but you have to want to try to repent and be better.
Correct.
Not just show up to church every week and confess the same sins and, Jesus, the magic password. No, Jesus said, go forth and sin no more. You are to want to try at least to be better. You may fail, but you have to want to try. Now, we've gone way off the rails on what you were originally here for Books Authors Weeks, why they are winning and you are not, the steps to finding success in life. So where can people actually get information about we should have covered on this show and didn't? Your website?
So they can go and get my book on Amazon.com. And you can also find me. I'm Kat Sterling, or The Real Cat of Atlanta, on multiple platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So I'm out here.
Okay.
And also, I think I'm on a YouTube, but I don't really do anything on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm on there. Yeah, I don't really do anything on there. But yeah, because platforms to manage. I'm like, I can't manage all these platforms. It's just too much. And run a business, and have kids, and be a wife. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my mind.
But at the same time, and I talk about in how to write a book and get it published.
Very cool.
For people who are thinking of writing but don't know where to start, or all those steps in the process, things they might miss, like promotion.
Yes.
So many free social media platforms.
Yes.
It may take some time, but you can't pass up on free promotion.
Correct. That's going to be your biggest market, free promotion, because it's so expensive to market. Like if you want to run ads and things like that, it's so expensive. And what I do is also leverage other people's audiences. So I'm leveraging your audience right now. There's other podcasts you can go on.
That's part of the process. Yes. Go on. There's a bazillion podcasts. If you can't get on a few of them, then again, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror. What am I doing wrong? Because a bazillion podcasts always looking for guests. I should be able to get on one or two of them here and there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I've done. You go on these sites, you register, and people call you just like you call me. So
right. The notes I'm holding are from podcastguests.com.
Yes.
We're both members there, hosts and guests. I'm both there as a host and as a guest for my books, right, to go on other shows to promote my nearing a dozen books now. So podcastguests.com. There's Matchmaker FM. There's Radio Guest List. I mean, there's all kinds of services, free Some
Free.
you could get
Some
a
paid.
free
Yeah,
account.
some have a monthly subscription. Yeah.
Yes. So again, and you can't pass up on free.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
got to make
Exactly.
use of the free options.
That's the most important thing.
Well, Kat Sterling, it was a lot of fun talking to you again. And that's one of my health OCD. It's like, whoo, rabbit hole, gotta dive down it, and we
It's okay.
completely went off the rails.
I
But
do it too, so it's okay.
so thank you, Kat Sterling, again for coming by. People, check out Why Are They Winning and You Are Not? The Steps to Finding Success in Life. And yes, I keep reading it to make sure I get it right. My memory, I don't want to, I know the name, and then I'll end up giving it out wrong. So thank you for stopping by. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
I mentioned I had not been out of the state of Michigan since 2006. Well, I remember now that's not completely accurate. And it's not about me, it's about the show's credibility, about dealing in facts and being honest. So, yes, during the Wuhan hysteria, and while wretched Whitler still had the state of Michigan locked down, Governor DeWine of Ohio unlocked his state. Should have never locked it down, but unlocked his state early. And on a nice day, chance to get out of the house, chance to get out of the state, even though I don't like putting the extra miles on the car. I need it to last. It's got a lot of miles on it. But again, it's not about me. This is about credibility of the show, facts and honesty, right? So I drove down to Toledo, ate, even though I couldn't afford to burn the gas, bought, just got Burger King there rather than Burger King here or whatever, McDonald's, whatever it was. I don't remember, not important. And went to a movie to support the theater, not in Toledo, actually outside of Toledo. I forget the chain name. I forget the movie. Not important. It was something I wanted to see, so it wasn't like I drove there to then pick a random movie they had going. So, hence the need for the correction to maintain the credibility here, not, I know you know what I mean.
For tuning in to books, there will be several different books, authors, several different authors, books, authors, weeks for October of 2025. And remember, you can check out my books at josephmleonard.us/shop. And again, Joseph M. Leonard, it looks French. It's not Leonard, it's Leonard without an O, and I have to put the middle initial in there because there is a Joseph Leonard who is also a Christian author out of South Carolina, so I have to make that distinction. And going in line with books, authors weeks, I've joked as guests on other shows, I am not he is not me, and neither of us will be confused for Shakespeare. And frankly, most writers out there are not going to be confused for Shakespeare. They're not trying to be. There might be a few that, looking for that Renaissance era feel, but hey, it's a new millennia, people. Right? This is the here and now. It isn't Shakespearean Renaissance area. If you're looking for Shakespeare, reread Shakespeare. Take care. God bless. Love you all. Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned in for Constitutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold, all substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless.